Hi there, my magical star beings. This is Psychic Siren Tarot, and welcome back to the channel. In today's reading, we're going to be taking a look at what people think after observing you. So before we get started with your pile selection, I want to give a quick shout out to my sponsor, Keen. So this is how my best friend almost ruined my relationship. It started with a missed call from Emily on my boyfriend Kyle's phone at a weird time. Then I saw a missed call from Kyle on Emily's phone as well. I wondered why they'd call each other while I'm at work. My heart raced. I trust them, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. I felt uneasy about Emily before. A year ago, I noticed how she and Kyle seemed to click, sharing jokes and glances that made me uncomfortable. Once I even caught Emily smiling at a message from Kyle, and when I asked him about it, he said it was private. I just dismissed it as paranoia due to my trust issues, but the doubt lingered. The new incident made my old suspicions resurface. Kyle became more secretive, always on his phone, which was unusual for him, and Emily started cancelling plans last minute, which wasn't like her. Everything seemed off, and my anxiety grew. I confronted Kyle about the call, but he brushed it off as a mistake. But when I asked Emily, she said she didn't even remember calling at all. Their vague answers made me even more anxious. I needed to know the truth, so that's when I decided to consult with a tarot reader from Keen. I browsed Keen's website, searching for the right psychic for my situation. I found one specializing in relationship readings with great reviews. But it was her energy that caught my attention, so I decided to consult with her, hoping she could reveal the truth. I explained my fears and asked for clarity. As she began typing, I just felt a gnawing anxiety, fearing the truth I might hear. She told me the cards speak of betrayal, and my stomach dropped. Then she added, but they also speak of celebration, a union of hearts. Confused and frustrated, I asked, what does that mean? Her vagueness felt like torture. The truth lies in what you choose to see. The betrayal may not be what you think. Sometimes the heart sees what it fears, not what is real, she responded. I left the chat more confused than ever. Over the next few days, her words echoed in my mind, turning every interaction with Kyle and Emily into something sinister. The final straw came when I saw Kyle and Emily together at a coffee shop, speaking in hushed tones. They didn't see me, but I saw enough to confirm the worst. I left in tears. Back home, I felt broken. How could they betray me? But as I paced around, the tarot reader's words returned to me. Celebration? Union of hearts? Could there be another explanation? The next day, I decided to confront them. I know something's going on, I blurted out. Just tell me the truth. Kyle and Emily exchanged a glance, then smiled. We were going to tell you tonight, Emily said softly. Tell me what? I demanded. Kyle pulled out a small velvet box. We've been planning a special anniversary surprise for you. Our 3-year anniversary is next month. Emily helped me because you trust her taste more than mine. My mind reeled as everything fell into place. The strange calls, the secret meetings, the cryptic conversations. It was all for me. I felt a flood of relief and guilt. The tarot reader's words made sense now. The betrayal was actually my own mistrust, twisted by my fears. I hugged them both, tears streaming down my face as the weight of doubt lifted. They've been planning something beautiful for me, not against me. So I realized that sometimes trust means choosing to see love, even when fear blinds you. I hope you enjoyed that little nugget of my personal life, and if you've had thoughts about something you need clarity on, Keen connects you with talented psychics, tarot readers, and astrologers, available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so you can get a reading whenever it suits you. Just create an account and you'll be able to choose from the hundreds of readers who are online right now. Each reader has unique gifts and specialties, so whether you need insights on love, career, or life in general, they can provide deeper understanding and guidance. Choose whichever reader best suits you, and you'll be able to connect with them via phone call or text chat. It's always best to get a personal psychic reading if you'd like more accurate information on your situation, because it is directed only to your energies. Now, here's your chance to get a personalized reading from Keen. As a new customer on Keen, you can try your first 5 minutes for only $1. Go to trykeen.com/psychicsirenttarot or click the link in my description box below to receive a discount on your first reading. Thank you, Keen, for bringing this partnership opportunity and for sponsoring today's video. That's trykeen.com/psychicsirenttarot or click the link in my description box below to get your own personalized reading today at a huge discount. So getting back to your pile selection, for pile number 1, you have the Amethyst crystal. For pile number 2, you have Amazonite. And for pile number 3, we have blue Apatite. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to pick a pile, pick whichever one you're most drawn to. So once you're done picking a pile, please find the timestamps for your pile in the description box below, and then I'll see you at your reading. Hi there, my pile number 1s. If you chose this Amethyst crystal, then this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at what people think after observing you. So your card is the 5 of Swords reversed. We're going to go ahead and shuffle the rest of your tarot cards. Then after that, we'll take a look at some oracle cards for you. So please be aware that this is a general reading. Only take resonates, leave the rest. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, you can find my email address in the description box below. Also, don't forget to subscribe if this reading resonates. So, Spirit Guides of pile number 1. Spirit Guides of pile number 1. What do people think after observing them? So, you have the Page of Swords reversed. You have the Star. I love that. You have the 5 of Cups. And you have the 6 of Pentacles with an extra card, the 9 of Wands. At the back of the deck, you do have the 6 of Swords. So I've just organized these cards so that they're more straight and that you can see them all. What I'm basically getting from your energy, I'm getting a lot of Aquarius energy, especially with the Star here, or even just air sign energy in general, because I saw a lot of like air energy here. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius is showing up most prominently. People could sort of see you as an air sign, even if you're not. Like you could give off the vibe of an air sign, if that makes sense. So for example, with me, I'm an air sign, but people always either mistake me as an earth sign or fire sign. And I'm not an earth sign, but I have a fire rising. Sometimes that happens. So I'm seeing like people see you as like an airy, free spirit type of energy. Somebody that needs freedom. Somebody that just goes with the flow. Like the vibe is really good with you. That's what I'm getting. People observe your energy. And they really like your energy. They really like your vibe, the way your energy feels, the way your presence feels. People do admire you from afar after observing you. And they think there's something admirable, inspiring about you after observing you. This mainly has to do with your resilience and your strength and the way you've been able to handle difficult situations in your life with grace, the way you've been able to overcome those difficult situations, problems, issues, or challenge in life, and the way you've been able to see the light at the end of the tunnel, but also hold up a light for others that are going through things. People may think of you after observing you to be a very empathetic person, someone that cares about other people's feelings, and you want to be there for people. Like, let's say you're seeing someone looks a little bit sad. It seems like they've had a bad day. You want to cheer them up. You want to offer them some kind of glimmer of hope, or something to smile about, or you just want to be there for them and hear about what they have to say. So that is also what I'm seeing. But the way you've dealt with your own problems, challenges, is very inspiring, how you've overcome that. People think you haven't had an easy life, but the way you've dealt with it with grace is so beautiful, so inspiring. After observing you physically, people also like what they see in terms of physical appearance. People think you may have had struggles with self-confidence in the past, but you are healing that. People may also think after observing you that you've healed a lot of past pain and things you've been through in life, and you're not letting it hold you back from the future you want to claim and manifest for yourself. But in terms of physical appearances, people definitely put you on a pedestal. People definitely think you look really good. They even think that maybe you don't see yourself the way other people see you. Like when you see somebody and they're so beautiful, but they just don't see it. That's the vibe I'm getting. But I do get that you are healing something to do with the self-worth or self-confidence. But when people look at you initially, they wouldn't think that you'd have any sort of insecurities or anything you're working through there, because they sort of look at you as like perfect or flawless in a way. Because I'm hearing that song by Beyonce, Wake Up Flawless. But after observing you, maybe they see that you are currently healing this. After observing you, people think that, when you're in your lowest moments, you may sometimes not exactly always have that hope. You have had times where you've been down in the dumps, where you've been at your lowest lows and you didn't see a way back up. And in those periods of time, you have been very gloomy, where it almost felt like there was this dark cloud over you. But I feel like things are turning around for you. You're getting yourself out of any type of rut emotionally. You're doing things for yourself in your routine that will brighten up your mood, like going on walks, just things that will help your mental health, journaling, things like that. I feel like you've really been doing inner work on yourself, because you've been focusing a lot on your own emotions and like what you can heal there, how you can feel better day by day. Because for you, it's not just about what you have, it's also about, and it's not just about what your life looks like, but it's also about what your life feels like that is important to you. You want to feel your best, so you're doing things for yourself so that you can feel your best. That is what people notice after observing you. However, after observing you, people see that you're just like this, in this kind of gloomy state when you're going through things. But after a while, you kind of get your spark back, if that makes sense. Like, if you've ever felt like you lost your spark, you do eventually find it back. Even when you're like in the lowest of the lows, you will eventually get that spark back, and you will find something to be excited or hopeful about. People think you are an exciting person that has some kind of sparkle in your eyes. Like, it's like you see the world with wanderlust. Maybe some of you would love to travel or want to travel or have traveled a lot. But it's kind of like you see the world from a fresh perspective. That's what people think after observing you, and that you kind of just look at the world in like a very magical, mystical, beautiful point of view. You may have looked at life through the lens of pain once before, and you may sometimes struggle with that, but you are trying to adjust that lens you look through life through to be more hopeful and more optimistic in some way with the star. You're very alluring, you're very beautiful, you shine without trying to. You shine even when you feel like your light is dim. You're powerful like lightning, yet intimidating. When I look at the star card and I'm looking at the background and the weather here, it's reminding me of like lightning and how lightning can be powerful and beautiful, yet also intimidating at the same time. So people may think that of you. People may also think you've been the light for others in dark moments of pain, that you just pour into others in such a beautiful way. Yet, you've also learned to pour into yourself in the same way, if that makes sense, like giving to yourself the same way you give others to others. You're also very inspiring in the way you put effort towards things. You're a generous person, you're a giver. That's the kind of conclusion they come to after observing you, that, you know, whatever you do, you put your heart and soul into, you focus on it fully, whether it's your work, your relationships. It's like you give your time and energy, and you don't mind giving that because you want to perform your best at work. You want to, you know, kind of give quality time to those you love, or show those you love how much you care by how much you give with your actions. So that is definitely something people notice after observing you, that you're a giver, that you might have also been disappointed in life by not receiving the same back from people. Now, what I'm about to say, you're a very kind, sweet, generous person. People can see that. However, people can also see after observing you, they think that you are afraid of confrontation sometimes, or afraid of calling people out or setting boundaries with the Page of Swords reverse, Five of Swords reverse. You may be afraid to make people uncomfortable even if they did something wrong. Um, like, let's say somebody's late and they're wasting your time. Silly example, but it happens. And you want to say something, but you're afraid of like ruining the vibe when they eventually do come. That's what I'm getting. Or like creating a fight, creating arguments. You don't like conflict. You'd like to solve things in the best possible way without conflict, with proper communication. And I feel like with you, when you've tried to confront people, it's always turned into a drama or fight. So I feel like subconsciously you learned to keep quiet and to shut off your voice. But I do feel like with the angel wings being so big here and let out, it I'm looking at this image and I'm kind of getting a visual image of somebody closing their wings and opening it up again. So there's this feeling of like you opening up your voice again. You know, when someone says an angel lost its wings and grew them back, that's kind of what I'm getting here. Like, your wings are your voice, if that makes sense. You're gaining your voice back, gaining back trust in yourself, and you're learning to set boundaries and speak your truth and confront problems and situations so that you don't have to sweep it under the rug or feel some type of way, you know, with people. And what I've learned over time is healthy people will respect your boundaries, will understand, even if it hurts their feelings. Um, like someone, for example, doing something to upset you, they're going to listen to that if they care about you and truly try to fix things if they care about you. So, you know, don't be afraid of like losing people by speaking your truth. So, all of what I channeled here was what people think after observing you. You've definitely made some huge changes to the way you've dealt with like challenges and experiences in life based on the wisdom you've learned over time. You've changed and grown and expanded, and that's also very inspiring. So, I think the main energy here is how inspiring you are to others. Now I'm going to go ahead and take a look at your oracle cards, pile one. Okay, so spirit guides of pile number one, what people think after observing them. So again, you have the angel wings. Maybe people see you as like a pure angel. I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence that this angel came out to add this one from two different decks. So it says deep cellular healing, Arcturus energy, physical and emotional healing, which is exactly what we spoke about. You have You're Not For Everyone, embrace your weirdness and face your true north. I feel like pulling two more cards. You also have the blue flame with spontaneous awakening, activation, integration time. And you have empathetic starseed with energetic sovereignty and absorbing what's not yours. At the back of the deck, you have Jump In with Andromedan energy, adventure, say yes to change. So I spoke about like travel and adventurous or like exciting energies. So maybe people think you're like very adventurous after observing you, after getting to know you, that you're always down to try new things. You're always down for change. Change is like something that brings you joy. You love to make changes and improvements to yourself and your life. People can see the passion and the spark in your eyes when you are excited about something versus when you sort of have to do something, quote unquote, have. So let's say you have to go to a certain event. People can see when you're not really like wanting to go and you're just feeling like you have to go versus when you really want to go. They can see it in your eyes. So that's very interesting. I'm also getting that you're very empathic, and I feel like you've also internalized other people's feelings, where you're afraid of like hurting people's feelings. Even if you are calling them out on something they did to hurt you, you're afraid of hurting their feelings. So people reach the conclusion about you that you're just very empathetic. You're too pure for this world. You're literally an angel, because most people don't even think about other people's feelings or consider other people's feelings, but you do, to a high extent where maybe it's caused you to have trouble speaking your truth, if that makes sense. With the mirror here, people feel like you're very relatable. They feel like they can relate to your life, to things you've gone through, to like things you say. People feel like this connection to you, like I relate to you, if that makes sense. However, I'd also say to not get too caught up in what other people think, because it's based on their own perception and them. Sometimes people's own biases or projections can come through in the way that they think of you, but that's more so you mirroring their own energy back to them, and it has nothing to do with you. Sometimes people think certain thoughts of you, but it's actually them. It's a projection. That's what I'm getting with the mirror. But people also see that you're a truthful, honest person, that you can take accountability for things you've done, like mistakes, and fix it and improve and change over time. And that you don't have to sort of like please everybody, because you're not going to please everybody. I think what's important is enjoying your life and feeling like you lived life to the fullest, and you have people around you that understand you and love you for you. That is the most important thing. Don't try to focus on pleasing people, rather try to focus on more important things. Because at the end of the day, even if you please them, you don't please them, what difference is it going to make? So that is what people are thinking, I'm hearing. I'm hearing that, which is why I said that. You perhaps also have a healing energy, and you trigger people's evolutions and spiritual awakenings. You trigger lessons for them to be learned when they haven't learned it before. So let's say someone's going through a specific lesson and they keep meeting certain people that trigger that lesson for them and they don't learn it, but suddenly they meet you and it's the exact same lesson. It's not even different, but somehow your one clicked and they finally broke that cycle. It's like after meeting you, people observe that their lives change, that they grow, that they become more conscious, they become more aware of things they weren't aware of before, they heal, they awaken. And it's just very beautiful. There's something magical about your aura and energy and the impact you have on other people's lives, whether you realize it or not. So this is what people think of you after observing you. I really hope this reading resonated with you. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Sorry, my pile number ones. I was about to start pile two when I forgot something I channeled before starting your reading. I forgot to mention it. So, although you're someone that's afraid of conflict, people have also observed that you care about people's feelings, like I said before. But if somebody hurts you to the point where they're backstabbing you and hurting your heart so much, to the point where you no longer feel empathy for them anymore because they've just hurt you so much, then another side of you comes out. I heard the word cunty, and I'm not insulting you at all, but it's like you have a different energy about you when you finally are fed up with the way people treat you, and it's sort of like a righteous anger, if that makes sense. It's not like you being angry for nothing. Then your words can pierce very deeply. You're always careful with your words and like not wanting to impact people negatively with your words. But when a person really hurts you, then you will say things that will hurt them to the point where I don't even know. But I'm getting that. It's not a bad thing, but people look at it in a positive light, in more of a funny light of like, oh, you said this and it finally humbled that person. That's kind of energies coming through. It's viewed in like a positive light rather than a negative light. So that's what I have for you. Bye. Hi there, my pile number twos. If you chose this Amazonite crystal, then this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at what people think after observing you. So your card is Call. Please be aware that this is a general reading, so only take what resonates, leave the rest. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, you can find my email address in the description box below. And please also don't forget to subscribe if this reading resonates. So you have the Ace of Wands and the King of Wands. What people think after observing pile 2, please. And you have Messenger of Air, which is an extra card in this deck, I think, and Messenger of Fire, also an extra card. Okay. So with Call, Messenger of Fire, Messenger of Air, there is this feeling of you maybe being a very talkative person or being on your phone a lot. People could notice things about the way you communicate or your communication style or just how much or how little you like to talk. So for a lot of you watching, I feel like you're very talkative, you're very chatty. Maybe you love phone calls over text with Call here. Maybe you love to call people you love and check up on them. I feel like when something happens in your day, maybe you video call your best friend or your close friends to tell them about that thing that made you so happy. Or let's say something bad happened and you want to vent. It's like you're always going to call or video call people. That's what people have observed from you. And again, they think you're a very chatty person. They think you probably have either a large friend group, or if not a large friend group, you just get along with most people. Like it's very hard to dislike you or have a bad relationship with you. But then you have your close-knit group of friends where it's like you're ride or die for them, if that makes sense. You're always together, if that makes sense. People think that you have this overall fun, dynamic vibe about you. People often really like you. Most people do like you. Most people do want to start something new with you here with the Ace of Wands. People think that you're very lovable in some way. Like it's hard to not like you. Even when people have a sort of, what's the word? I'm hearing bad ulterior motives somehow, or like even when they just dislike you at first, where maybe it's a projection or maybe it's just like them being jealous or whatever the reason is, it's like even then they start to like you and they start to get irritated with themselves because they can't not like you, if that makes sense. Like you just have an overall loving, charismatic vibe to you that people see, and that's what people think. People also think that you are someone they want to chill with, you're someone they want to do fun things with. You're that person they would call to go do that fun thing with. That's what I'm getting. Like, you're the person they would want to hang out with. Okay? A lot of people want to be friends with you. A lot of people also find you quite sexually appealing and attractive. A lot of people crush on you from afar and think thoughts around that crush they have on you or the sort of feelings they have towards you. They may think that you are out of their league and almost too beautiful or too handsome for them, where they don't even tell you that they have an attraction or feelings towards you in the first place. They think that it would be an unrequited love, is what I hear. So, if you're one of those people that don't really have people go up to you and talk to you, ask you on dates and stuff like that, it's not for any bad reason, but it's just because you're so attractive that you may be intimidating to people. Where even if you don't see yourself this way, the Ace of Wands here, King of Wands, and the energy I'm feeling tells me that a lot of people just feel like you're too good for them, like you're out of their league. Why would you like them? Those are the thoughts that run through their mind. You would most likely end up with a confident person that is willing to, have the courage to tell you how they feel without being shy of it. So I guess people crush on you after observing you, after not just observing you physically, but observing your personality and how much of a fun vibe you are and how exciting you are to be around. There's all this fiery energy here, then they like you, then they want you in some way, they desire you in some way. But also people that observe the people liking you, crushing on you. They observe those people and they see them crushing and being too shy to tell you. Maybe those people even tell them, like, I have a crush on Pal too, but I'm too afraid to tell them. But maybe even observing your physical appearance, they'd come to that assumption. Okay? People try to observe. Okay, this is gonna sound weird, but this is how it's coming through. Well, okay. People try to observe how frequent your sex life is. People try to observe, like, how active you are there. That's the best way I can put it in words without it sounding like vulgar, if that makes sense. But I feel like because you're so attractive, people would assume that you're having a lot of bedroom fun, if that makes sense. Whether that's true or not, they're sort of just trying to observe to see if their thoughts are true. Or that even if you're not like very much, doing that, then maybe it's just like they think that you would, but you don't. But just take it how it resonates. I feel like after a while they come to some sort of conclusion like, oh, not really, or oh, whatever it is. Or oh, they do have a healthy sex life, but then whatever it is, like, it's just like they come to their own observation after that, which is weird, but it's coming through. And I don't think it really matters how much sex you've had. Like, why does that matter? But anyways, messenger of air, messenger of fire. People notice and observe you when you speak. They try to look at your mouth firstly. Like, I feel like people are very attracted to your lips, so then they'll look at your mouth, especially if they're crushing on you. They try to look at your facial expressions when you're speaking to get, like a deeper insight on you. They try to look at every detail, like the tone of your words. People very much read into your communication very deeply. Let's say you send a text message to someone. They could be asking their friend, like, what do you think they mean by this text message? Do you think they mean this or this? It's like people read very deeply into not only the words you say, but how you communicate it. And I'm going to ask Spirit, like, what they think of that. So just give me a minute. Some of you could talk very fast, and people could think that. People could also think that some of you are like not comfortable with eye contact. Like you like to look around when you're speaking. They wonder if it is an uncomfortability with eye contact or if it just helps you focus better when you're like not looking into the person's eyes, or if it's just like a self-conscious thing. They don't really know what to think of that. People notice the passion and excitement within your voice when you speak, and the emotion felt within your voice when you speak. So let's say you are usually like speaking in a certain tone when you're happy, and then one day you speak and it sounds like you're a little bit sad. People will pick up on it. That's what I see. And then they'll think, is this person sad? Should I ask them? They're kind of like in their head about it, if that makes sense. Most of the time, they usually don't end up saying what they think, because I just split the deck and the King of Swords reverses here, which is like about not saying it. What else? So the conversations with you always just like flow in a way. They feel like they start out fun, but they become even more fun, because I'm seeing someone ride in like a sleigh ride, I don't know what to call it, and it's like they're going very fast and they're going up in the air. So I feel like there's something fun and exciting. I keep using the same words, but it keeps coming through. So I feel like that's the dominant energy showing up, like this fun, exciting type of energy you have that people think. So I'm going to pull oracle cards now because I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I keep channeling the same thing. Although it's always a good time with you, what I'm also picking up from Spirit is people think they wouldn't want to mess with you or say the wrong thing to you. Some people may think after observing you that if I was to do something to really F you over, you would get revenge on me. And I'm not sure if you would actually get revenge on people, but people kind of are like scared of hurting you or scared of messing with you, because I think they have maybe witnessed you maybe call out certain people or have fights with certain people where that person wronged you and you were like fighting with them, if that makes sense. Maybe not physically, but fighting with your words. I think people are afraid of being in your bad books or afraid of you being angry at them, and they're scared to say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing. But it's not like they necessarily think you're scary. It's just like, I wouldn't want to mess with you, you know? So we have star ancestors with hidden secrets, lost wisdom. Look a little deeper. What people think after observing them. We have perspective. None of this matters. Zoom on common ground. We have you got the love, Hadarian energy, codependency, boundaries. I was also picking up that you have a soft spot in your heart for certain people. Like certain people you wouldn't treat the same way as other people. So Spirit, give me an example. Let's say a stranger does something to you and it would irritate you, but a person you love does the same thing to you and it doesn't irritate you because you have a soft spot in your heart for them. That's an example of the energy. And then we have courageous peony with multifaceted, unique nature. Let yourself be seen. Okay, so people feel like when they come to some kind of like conclusion about you, they notice certain things about you, but they often don't know what to make of it. It's like we have the puzzles, but we have the whole puzzle, but we're unsure of where to put the puzzle pieces. There's still a sense of mystery here and questioning things and questioning, like, what is the reason for this? Because I'm hearing Cardi B's voice when she goes, what was the reason? So, like, for example, with the eye contact thing, where I said people don't really know what the reason is for that. That's an example. Or, anything of the sorts, like they'll notice certain things about you after observing you, but then they won't understand why that is, if that makes sense. Their perspective kind of feels vague, in a way. I'll be honest, people mostly focus on your physical appearance a lot, like focus on thoughts around that, how attractive you are, things like that, how fun you are, like, and then when they're really observing you, when they really like want to get to know you and sort of observe you, they'll observe your communication. But oftentimes you're just so mysterious that even after observing you, it feels like they still can't figure you out. It's like they're looking at this earth from so far away and they can't see what the blue or green is, you know? It's like I have to put on my glasses to see you closer. I still don't get it. So that's how they feel and what they're thinking. And then they're like, they want to say something, they want to ask you because they're curious, but then they're like, oh, it doesn't actually matter anyways. Like, why do I need to say this? It doesn't really matter anyways. So that's what I'm getting with this perspective card. I'll also be honest, as I'm doing your reading, it feels like I'm struggling to get the information out. So I'm asking Spirit why that is, and Spirit is showing me that you may have had a lot of people in your surroundings, maybe not people you're close to, but people in your surroundings that may have been very shallow, where they were only like, they weren't observing you deeper. They weren't trying to understand you deeper. But the people that truly care, the people that truly love you, are the ones that observe you the most, are the ones that like try to observe your every move. When I said something about like observing your voice, your tone, your mood in your tone, like things like that, that is mostly the people you love that observe you the deepest, if that makes sense. But people do still observe you, but I feel like some of the people I'm picking up on with the energy are not very deep, and so they're not really observing you deeply, if that makes sense. And I feel like you deserve people around you that try to understand you and try to like look at things from your perspective, which I believe you do have with the people you love, which is the most important thing. So people think that you are very courageous after observing you. Like, you're not afraid to say things. You're not afraid to say what's really on your mind or do things that excite you. Like, let's say you want to travel and you want to travel alone. Like, you would do that. You're not afraid to do that. Whatever it is you want to do, whatever it is that sort of brings you passion, you're not afraid to do. You're also not afraid to put yourself out there. People may sort of put you in the box of an extrovert, even if you're not, because of how talkative and comfortable you seem communicating to others. People also think of you as a unique person, that's sort of not afraid to put yourself out there. Because you are so mysterious, some people that observe you that may have trust issues may think that you are hiding something or having some kind of secret, or that you are intentionally trying to keep certain information about yourself private. So some people might come to this conclusion that either you're a secretive person or you're very private. Like, that's Scorpio energy, but I'm also picking up on a lot of fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So this is what I have for you, pile number 2. I really hope this reading resonated with you. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hi there, my Palmetries. If you chose this Apatite crystal, then this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at what people think after observing you. So please be aware that this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, you can find my email address in the description box below. And please also don't forget to subscribe if this reading resonates with you. So while I was looking at this card and your crystal, I kept noticing little scratches on this crystal. I don't know if I've dropped it or not, but it hasn't broken, and your card is strength. So I was being reminded of, you know how some crystals will fall to the ground and not break? I've had so many crystals fall to the ground, and sometimes they don't break, sometimes they do, but there are certain ones that are a lot stronger than others, and they don't break even when they fall. Sort of like iPhones I've had where I've dropped them so many times, but they don't break. That's what Spirit's showing me in my mind's eye. So what I'm getting from that and the strength card is maybe you've been battered and bruised before metaphorically, but you haven't been broken. Nothing can truly break you down, no matter how big the fall is. So that's what I'm getting from this card and the energy. So Spirit Guides of Pile number 3, Spirit Guides of Pile number 3, what people think after observing pile number 3. So people may have observed you fall or go through like situations in life that seem to test your strength, where they look at it like, oh, if I would have gone through that, I would have not been able to survive that. I would have cracked under pressure. But you just like took that as your weapon, I'm hearing. Like, you made that your most powerful thing. I don't know what that means, but that's what I'm hearing it. Okay, you have the Two of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups reversed. What people think after observing them, the Empress and the Six of Swords. At the back of the deck, you have the Six of Cups. Okay, so after sitting here for a second of dissociating, I don't know, I kind of dissociated into your energy unintentionally, and basically what happened was I was gone for a few seconds, like my mind was gone, just sitting here, and then I got this impression of your energy that you're just very gentle. Although you're strong with what you've been through, your energy just feels very gentle and pure, like you wouldn't hurt a fly. It's kind of like a tamed lion, your energy, if that makes sense. So that's what people think of you. You're like a lion or lioness that has been tamed. You have strength, and you have power, but you also don't like, although you used it as a weapon to fight against your own suffering to survive, you don't use it as a weapon against others, if that makes sense. You're gentle with others because you understand what it's like to have almost broken down. So you don't want to do that to others. That's what people think of you. People think that these experiences have changed you, either for better or for worse, but you will survive and you will get through it. And not only that, you will not just survive, you will thrive at the end of the day. You will find your peace at the end of the day. You will find acceptance with whatever you've been through at the end of the day and move forward with it, while also transforming yourself and blossoming into the best version of yourself. With the Empress here, people, after observing you, have noticed that you have a very thoughtful way of giving love, I'm hearing. Like, again, there's a gentleness here with the Empress. Maybe you found some kind of self-love that you didn't have before. With the transformation here with the Six of Swords, a change in your personality or the way you deal with things. Maybe these circumstances taught you self-love in some way, or taught you your own worth, taught you your own power, Even though it was bad to go through those situations and it doesn't erase the pain you went through, it did teach you this for some of you. That's what people are thinking after observing you. And they're noticing this through the way you carry yourself through your relationships. Things have changed, like in your self-esteem, in the way you love yourself. You're no longer accepting less than you deserve. You're no longer settling. Even if there are many options in front of you and none of them sort of match you or make sense for you, you're not just going to pick one because those are the only options you have. That is what I'm intuitively getting from the Seven of Cups reversed. Because even if we have many options in front of us, it doesn't mean we exactly want those options. Perhaps you've raised your standard when it comes to dating, love, relationships, opportunities, your career. You're not wanting to waste your time with something that is unsatisfying just because it's the only thing that's there. Because there's plenty of fish in the sea, there's plenty of opportunities to come, and you don't just have to pick whatever one is just there in the moment. You get what I mean? So I feel like people are noticing that about you and thinking that about you after observing you, that your standards have high-end. No, that's not a word, but like your standards, you've raised them. You've raised the bar for yourself of like what you believe you're worthy of and deserve. And it's not an entitlement, it's a genuine worthiness of that, if that makes sense. Some people may get triggered by this. The reaction to this may be different depending on how far they have come in their own journey, how much they have transformed within their own journey. So someone wanting you to settle for less and getting triggered by that, the only reason for that may be they settle for less and they can't stand to see you not doing the same as them. And people that are proud of you for that truly want the best for you. And that's all I have to say about that. I'm hearing that song that goes like, the world is my oyster, something like pearl or something. I don't know who sings it. I've heard it on Instagram before, but I'm hearing it now. You kind of get to pick and choose what you want. You're the main character and we're just living in your world. That's what I'm hearing. But it's like, it's not in a bad way. It's not in an egotistical way. It's more so of in a way of like, you deserve to feel like you can choose people, things, places, opportunities that really serve you well, that are healthy for you. You deserve to have all that you want and more. And you shouldn't just settle for something just because it's there, because that's taking away the opportunity for that person, place, thing, whatever it is, to be truly appreciated. And if you're going to stay with somebody, for example, where you don't truly love them and you're just settling, you're taking away the opportunity for them to find the same love they deserve too. So it's not egotistical or selfish. It's actually really good, and that's what most people are thinking that. Whereas some people may be triggered by it and sort of paint this narrative of you where they project that you think you're better than other people or you are entitled or things like that, which I don't think is true. So, again, people's perception just depends on where they are at in their own journey. So, with the Two of Pentacles, people see you as a very stable person. Although you've been through your lowest lows in life, you found your own stability. You've created a foundation for yourself that is so strong, a support system that is so strong, where if something goes wrong in your life, you have something to fall back on, a plan B to fall back on, even perhaps. So that is what people think after observing you. Maybe you plan ahead, like you always have a backup option or a backup plan, if that makes sense. That's what I'm hearing. Or if this was to go wrong, I would do this, that kind of energy. People think from observation that you've also experienced huge heartbreak and losses or losses. So I'm seeing like a heart broken in my mind's eye, which is why I say that. Now let's go ahead and pull your oracle cards. It's like you're very empowered right now, much more empowered than you were before. So people are thinking things about these changes you've made most prominently. They're noticing the change within you, how you used to behave and act before versus how you behave and act now. And there is a huge, stark difference where anyone would notice it. Like I said, you're much more empowered within the way you deal with things or go after things. It's kind of like you're living life on your terms, if that makes sense. That's what I'm hearing. So spirit guides of pile number 3. I'm hearing people pleaser gone villain mode, but not in a bad way, but like you're in your villain era for someone, or you've become empowered where you're no longer a people pleaser for someone here. That's not for everyone. We have loosen your grip with coping mechanisms, density, addiction, let God in. Maybe some of you had certain things you were addicted to, toxic relationships, substances, your phone, whatever it was. Maybe you broke some kind of addiction and it no longer has its grasp on you. You could have also released unhealthy coping mechanisms and attachment styles. That's what I'm hearing. Then you have Star Sisters, the 7 Star Sisters, with birthing creations, tapestry of life and expression. So people have noticed and think that you have become a lot more self-expressive, like you're a lot more confident in expressing your true self to the world. You're kind of just letting loose and being free, kind of like, when you drink alcohol and your body is all loose and you can chat with people, whereas if you have social anxiety, maybe it's harder to do that sober. It's kind of like you've become that without alcohol. That's what I'm seeing. So people are thinking that. People are thinking like you seem a lot more free lately, like nothing's sort of holding you down or making you feel like you're drowning or suffering in problems. And even if you do have problems in your life, you're able to deal with them with a clear mind and a belief within your own strength that you can get through any problem, that you can find any solution to that problem. So we have the cosmic heart with devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. And we have messenger with serious energy, bringing harmony and balance. So you know how to be serious when it's needed, but you also know how to let loose and be playful and have fun when it's needed. You've perhaps even integrated some kind of balance within your daily life. So for example, eating habits. For example, quitting smoking. It's like you're doing much more healthier things for yourself, mentally, physically, emotionally. And there's a lot more moderation here. Even if you enjoy sweets once in a while, as an example, like in terms of trying to get healthy physically, you're doing it in moderation. That's what people are thinking and noticing when they observe you. So my one eye started burning, my left eye, and tears are coming out of it, even though I'm not sad. So you could have probably released a lot of pain, yet you also had to stay strong at the same time. I find it interesting that only one eye is releasing tears, which makes me think that maybe you had to stay strong. Like you couldn't let yourself fall into that pain fully. You couldn't dive into it fully because you would have drowned. So you sort of took it slowly, bit by bit, released those emotions bit by bit at a pace you were comfortable with. And that is that's so happy and healthy. While people are happy for you being happy and healthy emotionally, and people kind of want to say words to you that would uplift you. So I don't know if they have or not, but they feel that urge to when they're thinking about it and analyzing you. People notice that you have a very beautiful heart. Your love is very potent. You devote yourself to people. So, if you're bringing all of that to the table, you deserve to expect the same in return. So, this is what I have for you, pile number 3. I really hope this reading resonated with you. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.